City of Hagerstown. Let your supernatural wisdom saturate the atmosphere as we commit this meeting to you. Direct our thoughts, words, decisions, and actions toward the right path that's best for the constituents of Hagerstown. Help us be righteous and just. Let your will be done. In your name I pray. Amen.
We are going to be following the rules of procedure effective December 15th of 2020. Please make sure that your cell phones are muted. Any correspondence for distribution to elected officials should be provided to the city clerk and should include a copy for the city clerk. Our meeting schedule for November will be as follows. Tuesday, November 1st at 10 a.m. we're going to have a strategic plan update. Also November 1st at 4 p.m. we have a work session. The 8th and 15th of November we'll have a work session at 4 p.m. And November 22nd will be our regular session at 7 p.m. November 29th, we have no meeting. So up first tonight, we have something super exciting. We are going to unveil our new marketing brand for the city of Hagerstown. So we're going to talk a little bit about the process and then show you a video and show the new branding and logo for the city. With us today on Zoom from Guide Studios, we have Kathy.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for letting me join you tonight.
Can you say something?
Can you hear me?
Oh, there we go. Awesome. So thanks for joining us tonight. As you know, the city of Hagerstown citizens have not seen our new branding concept tonight, so we have it covered up right now. We're going to hear from you, talk a little bit about that process, and then show the video. So I'm turn it over to you if you'd like to say anything.
Sure. Thank you, everybody, again, for letting me join you tonight. We've had the pleasure of working with members of your staff, the mayor, stakeholders within the community over the last 6 months, and it's been an absolute pleasure. I can tell you that our team, from the minute that we actually drove into Hagerstown, we knew that this would be a fantastic project and we'd be working with a really cool city that had a lot to offer. The process that we take our clients through is pretty critical and important, that we are engaging with the people of your community. While we have the experience and expertise developing the brand tools that cities need to help communicate better, to help build awareness, to help manage image and reputation, we are not experts of your place. And so therefore, meeting with your stakeholders, even putting out a lot of the electronic surveys that went out via social media, were important for us to capture information about who you are as a community. And again, as I said, you know, we came into town and we've been there a few times and have had the opportunity to enjoy exploring. And then once we go through that, you know, it's a pretty collaborative and iterative process with the steering committee that had been formed for this project, which again is made up of people within the organization as well as external stakeholders. And so we take all that information that, you know, we get from meeting with people, asking lots of questions, just experiencing the city, and we create some of the important pieces to help the city tell your story. A lot of times, you know, cities come to us and they say we don't have a brand. That's not actually true. Every city has a brand because everybody has an idea, a perception, experiences with that city. And sometimes it also takes an outsider to come in and remind a lot of communities about a lot of the wonderful things that they have. Every place, every city has challenges, but a lot of cities, like who they are and their personality and character is expressed in how they address those challenges. And that has been absolutely true with what we've discovered with Hagerstown. The process also involves thinking about how you're visually going to represent yourself. So while we work hard to give you the right tools to tell your story, to understand how your audiences are going to accept those stories, we also built a visual image for you. And this, yes, does consist of a logo and identity, but it's also a lot of other visual elements that are going to bring that brand to life as you move forward. And then we also come back and talk with the city about how they are best going to leverage all of these tools to help communicate better, to help strengthen economic development, to help create sense of place. So the city has been left with an action plan as they begin to use this brand to help create stronger engagement with your community.
Incredible to work with. So we're very excited to show the rest of the community what you guys came up with in partnership with all of the people who input information and opinions. So thank you very much for all of your hard work.
We loved working with you guys. It was a blast.
Thank you. The video? Okay, so we are going to show you the video now. Just to give like a very quick background, Kathy summed it up pretty well, but something that our administration really talked about is who is Hagerstown, right? What's our identity? What's our brand? And I look at other municipalities that we get paired to a lot, like Frederick or other places, and they really have like a strong logo, a strong brand. And you go there and people are wearing them on their shirts, on water bottles, and really just a sense of community that rallies behind what that city looks like and who they are. And we wanted to do that here because I think that we deserve that. And we're very excited, and hopefully we'll have all the citizen buy-ins and business buy-ins, and we look forward to showing you a video that's going to show you the new logo.
We are all Hagerstown.
Hagerstown is different, but the same.
And our differences.
And our differences
And our differences.
Are what make us such a great community. Such a great community.
Such a great community.
Hagerstown, it's a place to thrive.
where your voice is heard.
Hagerstown is a place to be inspired.
To hope for the future.
To be curious, creative, and believe.
And dream big. Hagerstown has something for everyone.
From arts and culture to shopping and dining.
To a variety of beautiful parks.
And it's Hagerstown's amenities that help set it apart and make life easier here.
While Hagerstown might be a place you visit for its proximity,
You'll want to stay for everything it offers.
In Hagerstown, our people are our foundation.
And our lived experiences have fostered a reflective and resilient nature.
That drive us to build community through engagement and collaboration.
Without exception.
People are drawn to our city's rich history, beautiful downtown, housing options,
Amazing parks and vibrant arts and culture scene. Fertile ground on which all residents and businesses can thrive.
It's a new era in Hagerstown, an era of positivity, community, growth, and a new image. And with a new image comes a new brand. With that new branding comes this new logo, a logo that we can all get behind to celebrate our community pride. Hagerstown, it's a new day. It's our time.
Shout out to Eric Hastings on that video because I just thought it was absolutely incredible. And I do just want to thank our steering committee members, some of which are here tonight. We have Paul Fry, Betsy DeVore, Fred Chavez, Sarah Nadell, Tom Rayford, Takesha Martinez, and Brittany Arismendi. Thank you guys very much for the effort and work that you guys put into this. And, that was great. Committee members, you want to come up and help me tear this? Go ahead.
Sorry, Donna.
All right, coming soon to an online store near you, so. All right. Up next, we have some appointments for the Hagerstown Youth Advisory Council.
Madam Mayor, I hereby move that the following members be appointed to the Hagerstown Youth Advisory Council with a term to expire on June 30th of 2024. Zoe Burnett, Joseph Fox, Dharma Lara, Nicholas Martinez Martel, I. Lenoya Morse. Hope I didn't ruin that, so too bad, yeah. And Anna Simmons. And I also move that we appoint, with a term to expire June 30th of 2023, Ishan Dean, Lakin Kendrick, and Sarah Ockley.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And if the members of the Youth Council could join me up here, please. All right, let's, why don't you guys come up here, it's okay. All right, awesome. Thank you guys for applying and for being part of our youth council. We appreciate it. Look forward to working with you guys. So I'm going to swear you in today. So at first, I'm going to have you raise your right hand, and it's going to say, I, your name, do swear. So you say your name, and then the rest of the time you just repeat after me. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. So if you raise your right hand, please. I state your name, do swear. Do swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States. That I will support the Constitution of the United States. And that I will be faithful. And I will be faithful. And bear true allegiance to the state of Maryland. And bear true allegiance to the state of Maryland. And support the Constitution and laws thereof. And support the Constitution and laws thereof. And the charter and ordinances of the city of Hagerstown. And the charter and ordinances of the city of Hagerstown. And that I will. And that I will. To the best of my skill and judgment. To the best of my skill and judgment. Diligently and faithfully. Diligently and faithfully. Without partiality or prejudice. Without partiality or prejudice. Execute the office of Hagerstown Youth Council. Execute the office of Hagerstown Youth Council. According to the Constitution and laws of the state. According to the Constitution and laws of the state. Congratulations. If you guys could all come up here and sign beside your name.
Just like a check,
Yeah, wherever your name is, and then just sign beside it.
or just a check does work, or just let it.
No, just your signature.
Okay.
Perfect, and that's for you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations. Congratulations. Thank you guys very much.
Can we make it a tighter group? Let's put the taller people to the, let's bring the shorter people up front with Emily. And then let's crunch it up like this.
Look at this, short people.
Yeah, and then you go, yeah. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Just make it a little tighter. Okay, here we go. Okay, good smiles. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna do one more for safety. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you.
Congratulations. Hi, Dharma.
All right.
Mayor,
Yes.
can I say something before they leave? So, before you guys leave, I just wanted to remark, two things I know as a parent. One, they don't give you a book when you leave that hospital on how to raise kids. There's no book on how to do it right. And two, the kids that you have here this evening, they don't get here and engage in this community by chance. So I want to thank the parents out there, whether you're a mom or dad, grandparent, aunt or uncle, whoever has had an effect to bring you to this step today. Appreciate it.
Second.
All right, guys, up next we have a proclamation for Complex Regional Pain Syndrome Awareness Month. We have a representative here. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Like it. So thank you for joining us again this year for this important month and for drawing awareness to complex regional pain syndrome. And I do have a proclamation for you. And whereas complex regional pain syndrome, also known as reflex sympathetic dystrophy, is a chronic pain condition most often affecting one of the limbs, arms, legs, hand, or feet, usually after an injury or trauma to that limb. CRPS is believed to be caused by damage to or malfunction of the peripheral and central nervous systems. And CRPS can strike an individual at any age and affects both men and women. And whereas CRPS is characterized by prolonged or excessive pain and mild or dramatic changes in skin color, temperature, and or swelling in the affected area. And whereas some cases of CRPS are mild and individuals recover gradually in time, however, in more severe cases, individuals may not recover and may suffer long-term disability. And whereas more research is needed to understand the causes of CRPS, how it progresses, and the role of early treatment. Now therefore I, Emily Keller, Mayor of the City of Hagerstown, do hereby proclaim November 2022 as Complex Regional Pain Syndrome Awareness Month in Hagerstown, and encourage residents to unite with those who suffer from CRPS, RSD, along with their family and friends to show the world that while we are in pain, we are strong and united as one. So this is for you.
I just want to thank everybody. The city of Hagerstown, you, the mayor, the council, everybody has been great in supporting us. The week of November 5, I believe, to November 12, downtown Hagerstown will be colored orange with orange bows tied on parking meters. I've had this disease 32 years, and it is the most painful condition known to man, and is an extremely difficult condition to treat. While it may look okay, I'm not. But that's okay, because I'm here to make a difference with those. And we do wear tie-dye shirts because pain, this is known as the pain that does not go away. It's burning. And what better way to represent fire. They're wearing red, orange, and yellow. So thank you all for your support. It means the world to me. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, Mayor. I won't let you get away. Okay, good smiles. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you.
All right. Up next, we have citizen comments. We have a couple of people signed up to speak today, so if you could come up, state your name, address, and you'll have 5 minutes. Up first, we have Candace Large.
Good evening. My name is Candace Lang, and I'm a resident of Hagerstown. And in the past couple of years, on Cannon Avenue, we have experienced some inappropriate activities by youths. Last year it was a gang of 6 to 8. This year it's become more than a dozen of different ages who ride bicycles, harass myself and my neighbors, and they have physically assaulted my son twice. These incidents were reported to the police, and I hope the City Council is aware of this, and I'd like to know if there is a plan of action to redirect the activities of these youths to their betterment.
So yes, the city, in partnership with about 50 other organizations, is working on a youth gang violence initiative called ENVY. Councilmember McIntyre, who's not here this evening, started this process close to about 2 years ago, and ENVY now does have an executive director that works for the Hagerstown Police Department. So it is modeled after Santa Rosa, California, who was experiencing very similar youth gang issues. So it is something that's actively being worked on. The Department of Juvenile Services and other organizations are actively involved. So the short answer is yes.
Okay, good. And to whom would I direct questions in future?
You can direct them to Councilmember McIntyre or Danielle Staley, who works for the Hagerstown Police Department.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, up next we have Thomas Davidson.
Hello, I'd like to address essentially the same issue that Ms. Lang addressed, and that is the youth gangs. These literally are gangs. I hate to say it, especially since we had so many great examples of young Hagerstown people just this evening who are involved in the community and care about the community. It just seems strange that we've got that problem in addition to
Nonprofits don't use their vehicles 24/7. Why not? Share these assets when possible. And 4, will some of the charities with similar synergies be willing to merge? I realize the council cannot direct these charities what they can and can't do, but the council does have the power to deny surplus funds and grants to those charities who do not collaborate. I would suggest collaboration be a prerequisite before any request for funds from the city be given. This would need to be backed up with hard examples of what the charity is doing today or in the future to collaborate. I would be willing to donate my time to the city and charities to work through this process. I have many years of experience working for a Fortune 500 company, consolidating and merging offices of manufacturing companies around the globe. Do you, as city officials, will you make collaboration between the charities a prerequisite before giving surplus city funds or grants? I hope you will, and I would gladly help. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to give this to the city clerk.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms.
All right, signed up next, we have Michael Stout. Mr. Stout, if you could state your name and address, please.
You're not gonna like me tonight. Michael Stout, 18 South Mulberry. Nothing more shocked our neighborhood than this. Anybody that reads Facebook, they cut our tree down on the corner of East Baltimore, South Mulberry. The big Christmas tree that was supposedly the corner liquor store, now we're being told that it belonged to the city. They cut that beautiful tree down, shocked our neighborhood. Last year it wasn't decorated. I've talked to a city official about it already. There's what they left. Go over and take a look at it. Shame on you. Whoever ordered this, shame on you. Come in my neighborhood tomorrow, and you're not going to find very many happy people about this. And I spoke up on Facebook about it. So I'm going to leave this with you. The next issue is Bixler Alley. The thing went down, the barrier went down, great. Worked perfect. But I'm walking that circuit every day. 15 needles yesterday behind a drug program where a lady hollered to me, "You're picking up the dirty ones, you have any new ones?" A drug program. They're feeding people out of a truck in the back, and all their trash is laying in Bixler Alley. Here's the picture for a week and a half of the needles that I'm going to take to the health department. This is cold reality. My neighbors and I are putting up with this over there. Now we're hearing a big drug thing is coming to East Antietam. Well, let me tell you what, Michael Stopp will be out in front of that camera raising HELL if that happens in our neighborhood. Those programs over there are out of control, some of them. And you as council members need to take a look at it. I'm seeing it. I'm walking amongst these people shooting up, and they're handing me their dirty needles. This is what is the product of our neighborhood this morning. At 5:30, this gentleman left this there. His medicine bottles, whatever. Now, this is the issue I found this morning from the mower. The hospital owns Mulberry Street parking lot, but they're renting it to Mulberry Street. They're supposed to clean it up. Well, who in the city is going to enforce this cleanup? All right, I've walked Locust Street. There are 2 properties there for 3 years. I've documented everything. And like I told you, I'm not out to embarrass anybody. This is great. The stadium's great. I'll be the first to buy a seat. But somebody better come over in our neighborhood and take a look at those youngsters those people are talking about, running at 2 and 3 in the morning with no clothes on, and coming into Bixler Alley and Matthews Alley and shooting up and cooking their crack. And let me tell you what, come over in my shed tomorrow and I'll show you crack that I found in the alley. That they're out there looking for it with a flashlight. So all this fine stuff is good. But believe me, what's coming with the law, somebody better take a look at what happened in San Francisco the past week and other big cities. The courts are starting to give the homeless a lot of rights. Take a look at what happened in the big cities. Tents everywhere. How are you people going to deal with tents all over the streets? You're not going to be able to move them. So you can think I'm just rattling, but I've been in the city now 7 years. 3 years I've been working on my little area over there. And you were over there when you first started. I have picked up more needles. I have listened to more BS from Meredith and Sheets'. And if Meredith thinks we're going to get away with sticking a drug program there, and all these wanting to be politicians running around wanting to get elected, where are they at tonight in this form? Where are they at? I was over there with some, but this drug program that I'm talking about has picnic tables. And let me tell you what, they ain't picnicking sodas. So I'm telling you this, these policemen are working themselves to death over in my neighborhood. When I said the city of sirens, it's a city of sirens, baby, because we put up with it all night. I don't know where you all live, but maybe you should come over, take your high heels off, put your tennis shoes on, and walk with me. I'm being straight with you. You can laugh all you want. We can laugh all you want, but it's a serious situation in our neighborhood. They're climbing in windows. And I'm trying to tell you, I've been the nicest person in the world, but somebody needs to see what's going on over there. And to stick another big drug program over there, that ain't going to happen as far as we're concerned until somebody sees it. So I'm going to leave these with you, so maybe you can take a look at it. And I know you've tried to do everything you can, but somebody has to take a look at what's going on over there in that alley, because it ain't normal for people to be standing up in an alley shooting. And I walk through them every day. I give them respect. I know they're addicts. I was an addict. I give them respect. I know they're homeless. They need food. But when you're feeding people out of a truck and no garbage cans, all the garbage is going in neighbors' yards. So I hope you'll take my advice and take a look at what's going on, because I'm not going to give up. I have hope for those people out there. I have hope for Hagerstown. I love living here. But man, every night we're getting called outside with something. And let me tell you what, I would have found the gentleman that OD'd dead on Bixler Alley, but I had been called to use the spray up the nose in the other alley. I would have probably found that gentleman because I was over in that area. And that would have done me in. So I don't want to see anybody die. And I want to see all of you be successful. Everybody in this audience be able to enjoy Hagerstown. But right now, my neighborhood's not enjoying it. And the property I see on Locust Street, every day I go in there, you're not going to believe what's back there. And I don't know what's happened with code enforcement, because everybody's calling about it. I mean, they're going in the basement, they're inside. There's actually a cat in an old mattress sleeping inside, so how'd the cat get in there? So thank you. I don't mean to be abrupt. I didn't mean to insult anybody, but it's a problem. And look, I'm not going to condemn anybody, because I see those hardworking men in those badges and those first responders out there every day. I see them being threatened. I saw a lady threatened with a needle with someone that had OD'd and woke up and was going to stab her with the needle because she was helping him. So that's what's going on, and I appreciate you allowing me to come here. But the other thing is, if you don't put those colored lights on that Christmas tree downtown, 525 people that answered that Facebook last year, they're going to be mad, and I'm going to be mad. Put colored lights on that big tree when you put it up. Thank you. And here, I'll leave this with the card.
Thank you.
That's a souvenir for you.
Thank you, Mike.
Good night.
Mike, I wasn't laughing at you or what you were saying. It was the high heel part, because I only put them on when I have to come in
There you
here.
go.
So,
You
just so
can't
you
walk
know.
down there anymore in high heels. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you. That's all that's signed up to speak today. Is there anyone else that would like to speak? Okay. Mark, if you could come up, state your name and address in 5 minutes. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Altamont Mark Wilkes. I'm the owner of Carmen's Corner Store, and I am so happy to be back in Hagerstown. It feels like my services are needed. I have a reputation for cleaning up neighborhoods. I would like to volunteer not only my proficiency, but my knowledge. I like to work with the chief in every capacity that I can, except in a capacity that is dishonorable to me. Other than that, I'd like to say thank you. You are all doing a good job.
Thank you.
It's a daunting job. The gentleman, I wish he would have stayed, because I would echo some of his same sentiments. I've been walking and doing my nightly patrols like I used to. I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. It's just something I do. And I walk my dogs. And what I've been seeing, shameful. Shameful. And I wish I could do more, which I actually can. My corner is the safest corner downtown, and I can say that hands down, and probably the cleanest. I like to extend that corner. And I mean, I'm gonna really be physically present in doing what I'm asking to do, which is clean up this city along with you. I know it can be done. I know it can be done because I'm one of the reasons it's the way it is. So it's atonement for me to actually come back here and become part of the solution. How may I be of service?
We're gonna put you to work.
Yeah, we
I told you when I saw you last week, we're gonna put you to work. So, can we offline about that?
Yes.
But yes, we need about 1,000 more of you. We appreciate you so much and what you've done down there.
Take a lesson from what Lot had to go through and his little escape from Sodom and Gomorrah. You're not gonna get 1,000. You're not.
I know.
But we can get some. I'm not gonna hold anybody too long. I'd like to just address something. I'd like to propose a new slogan for Washington County. Washington County working together. We cannot allow, especially in this midterm elections, for outside forces to dictate what goes on in Washington County. I am living proof that one of the political statements that have been made is false. That Hagerstown is a prison to Hagerstown pipeline. It's not. It's not. I work with Gatekeepers, and Gatekeepers has been one of the organizations that has been very instrumental in allowing individuals who are released from the prison system here to go back to where they came from. But if they can't, let's filter these individuals out. Because let's be truthful, a lot of the people that are from here are not that great. Okay? We can use some talent from outside. This is how you build a community. The meaning of community is common unity. Can't have a community if you don't have a common unity. We all have a common unity here for Hagerstown, for Washington County to work. I say, Washington County working together is not only going to resonate, it's going to build the morale that we need, not only in this city, throughout the county. It really echoes, it ripples. Anything drops here is felt throughout the county. So what we do and what we say has to matter. We can't just say, ma'am, it's gonna be okay. It's not. It's not. Until somebody goes to the parents of those children. I'll do it. Guess what? Nobody can't fire me. Yeah, can't fire me. Nor am I running for office. But I'll work for you. I'll work for this city and I'll work for this community.
Thank you.
To make sure somebody can go to those kids because I'm not scared of them. Right? More than likely, they'll find out who I was and be scared of me to the point of respect, to listen. To listen. And then when they see me with Joey and they say, oh, we know he's not an informant. Can't call him a rat. They get slapped for that. It must be cool to be around law enforcement. Then we can stop that silly defunding movement, all right? These things must be done. And we can't rely on outside forces. He was right, and at the same time wrong. A lot of politicians are in here, and we won't see them. You're not gonna see them in your neighborhood. But guess what, they're busy. Yeah, they're busy. just like we should be. Busy at home. You call me. I'm telling you, you call me any time of the night. First of all, please. You call me any time of the night. I'll be there, right? Because the day where little punks start pushing us around should never have happened. It didn't happen when I was growing up, and it shouldn't be happening now, all right? Let's stop allowing outside forces to dictate what's going on. Our mayor's doing a damn good job. And our city is doing a damn good job. Our previous mayor made it possible for our mayor now to do a greater job. Same party? No. But the minute you guys start saying that, I'm with this party, I'm with this party, how the hell are the gangs gonna respect what you say when you're acting like a gang yourself? So we have to be careful. Let's grab them, let's work together. I'm here, allow me to be of service, thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Peace and blessings, bro.
Is there anyone else who would like to speak this evening? All right, we are gonna move forward to a public hearing for the annexation.
Up.
What?
One more.
Mayor, you want to talk? You sure?
You sure you can?
Come on.
So if you could just state your name and address, please.
My name is Ishan Dean. I live at 12511 Jubal Court. And I was just hearing about how like the kids in Hagerstown are how they are and how like their future doesn't really look good if they're on the same path. But me kind of growing up here and like being involved in sports, playing basketball for Ed Williams and her league and what she does for the community, and I see all these kids and I go to school with them, and in the past I've had a lot of friends that fell into that a really negative world and environment, and I see that like sometimes some go to jail, some have passed, and I just see that the kids, many kids, they're not brought up how everyone is. Kids are brought up in a different way, and a lot of kids don't have the foundation at home at all. And I believe that once people do see them doing wrong, I don't think they don't feel loved, or they don't feel like they do belong. So, and I believe like when people see them do wrong, that's kind of their only perception of them in many eyes, and they just see that they're never gonna go away from who they are right there in that moment. But I believe that we need more bringing up for kids. Like we need to bring them up even more and make them feel loved, and like we need to show them that they are loved and they have the potential to be things that they can't even see. I believe that in schools they don't enforce that as much as they should. You know, I believe they just like to discipline them just to discipline. I don't think that they really do it for that good of a purpose. You know, I believe that if we make kids feel loved and show them that they have the potential to be somebody that they'll look back on it and not even recognize. I believe that it can make this community stronger and make it a real common unity. Yeah, and the kids are the future of Hagerstown. So if they don't have the foundation at home, why not have the community there to bring them up, you know, and show them? So, yeah, thank you guys for listening to me.
Thank you.
You got straight to work. Good job. Straight to work. Thank you.
All right. We are going to move into our public hearing, the annexation of 2 Western Maryland Parkway.
Good evening. So Kathy, before you start, I'll issue the oath. So if you would raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm under the penalties of perjury that the responses given and statements made will be the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
And please state your name and address for the record.
I'm Kathleen Marr, I'm the Director of Planning and Code Administration for the City of Hagerstown, 1 East Franklin Street. Okay? We are here tonight for the public hearing to annex 2 Western Maryland Parkway. Got some information over here. It's the property with the black arrow next to it on Western Maryland Parkway at the corner with West Washington Street. It has 2 frontages. It's contiguous to the city boundary on the east side. Water and wastewater service will be by the city. Total acreage is 21.436 acres, plus or minus. I don't know how much more plus or minus you need to get there. The current zoning is highway interchange. In the county, it will be brought into the city with industrial mixed-use zoning. And that's, that map shows the city zoning in the area, and the light purple color is the industrial mixed-use zoning. This is an aerial before they started work out there. If anybody's driven by, they've got a lot going on in the construction of the warehouse that's going in there. But that was what it was like beforehand. This is the site plan that was approved by the county for the warehouse that's being constructed. We have a pre-annexation agreement with this property owner from March 8th, 2022 that specified the parameters for the timing of the annexation. And so once the developer received site plan approval and a building permit, that's when the city annexation process would begin. And so the Planning Commission reviewed the proposed zoning in August and recommended approval of the proposed IMU. And then on August 23rd, the Marion City Council introduced the annexation resolution and approved the annexation plan. And then we have since received letters from both the Maryland Department of Planning and Washington County agreeing that the zoning is consistent between the HI and the IMU for this proposed use, and therefore express approval by the county commissioners is not required for the zoning. The next steps, well, tonight is the public hearing. There'll be a follow-up discussion on November 8th to discuss whatever we may hear tonight, and then to see if we're ready to move forward with approving the resolution. And if we are ready, then it could happen on November 22nd, and then it will be effective 45 days later, which will be in early January. If people have any questions or comments, they can reach out to me, because we no longer have Megan, who used to do the annexations for us. So in the meantime, while we're waiting to hire a planner, and if anybody knows a planner that would like a job for the city of Hagerstown, we are eager to hire. So anyway, that's my contact information. And so that is all I have for the presentation. Put the property back up. Okay.
Do you have exhibits?
Do you guys have any?
Do you have any exhibits?
I have one question.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's not for you, maybe it's for Washington County, but so the letter from the Department of Planning and Zoning, maybe I missed it, maybe there was a change in state law at some point. But the second paragraph is fairly literal in its statement that the proposed zoning to be applied to the newly annexed parcels cannot be substantially different from the existing county zoning.
Without the county granting express.
I know, it doesn't say that. It's just the letter's written a little oddly to the degree of almost asserting that, you know, we can't annex unless it's zoned compliant with the county
Right.
zoning.
Yeah,
We
that's-
can, it just, yeah. So
If
just,
the county wouldn't grant express approval, we can still annex, we just have to wait 5 years to use the city.
just the letter doesn't read that way. It reads like, we can't proceed,
Yeah.
you know, unless it's exact. So,
And I would like to enter into the record the certification of advertisement for this public hearing and the file by reference.
Do you guys have any questions? Okay. We do have one person signed up to speak today. Jason Divabless, if you could state your name and address, please.
Jason Divalbus, 11125 Greencastle, or sorry, 11125 Beamisturfer Road, Greencastle, Pennsylvania.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm under the penalties of perjury that the responses given and statements made will be the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm here to apply for the open planning position.
You're hired.
No, I'm here.
Solve half our problems.
I'm here this evening on behalf of the owner of the property, which is GVP Hagerstown Owner LLC, and yet another creative LLC name. And it's not to oppose the annexation or the zoning. We participated in and voluntarily entered into the pre-annexation agreement that Kathy referred to. Nor are we questioning the consistency of the resolution with the agreement. All of that is good. In essence, I'm here on behalf of the property owner to request a courtesy from the city to delay the effective date of the annexation a bit. Since the date the pre-annexation agreement was negotiated, where the annexation was triggered by the issuance of a building permit for the Shell warehouse building, there's been some delays in the construction of the building. There's been some slowdowns that were not expected. That's going to cause a bit of concern if the effective date is January 6th of 23 as currently projected. By January, the building will not be completed. And you can see in the agreement, which is adopted by reference into the resolution, that means in January, the property would come into the city while there's still an open building permit for the Shell building in the county. And that agreement provides that until that permit is closed out, it stays in the jurisdiction of the county. So we're presented with this possibility in January, February, March, and maybe even in April and May, until that building is done and the Shell building gets a use and occupancy permit, that we have sort of one foot in each jurisdiction. And the concern comes with the warehouse being built on speculation. We don't have a tenant for it. We don't have an end user for it yet. So at some point in time, the tenant's going to come in and ask for tenant improvement permits to fit out the building. And the question is, well, how are we going to reconcile that process with what I just described? Is it going to be in the county? Is it going to be in the city? Is it going to be a little bit of each? So the request is, in essence, to delay the effective date until such time as the tenants receive their use and occupancy permits. They're willing to put an outside date on that of December 31st of 2023. That happens to be the exact same structure and terms of agreement that were agreed to with Johnson Development out on Oak Ridge Drive. They requested that because they foresaw this issue a little more than this particular property owner. They thought, honestly, that the Shell building would be completed and a lot of this would be behind them, and that has not occurred. So they're just requesting a little bit of a deferment, not of the adoption per se, but just of the effective date that it goes in, so they don't have that straddling effect going on. If that's not acceptable, if that's deemed to be too long or too much in the alternative, I think they would be okay with the effective date being delayed until the use and occupancy permit associated with the Shell building, not necessarily the tenant improvements, but the Shell building, with an outside date of July 1 of 23. I think that would get them a little bit better, not completely great, like deferring until the tenant UNO would, but I think that would be deemed acceptable. So again, we understand we can't demand this. We know there's an agreement. We really have no leverage to insist on anything. We're just sort of asking as a courtesy if you would consider it in an effort to help the property owner out so that they don't have any concerns about getting the building completed, getting tenants in there, getting everything rolling, and on the tax rolls as previously contemplated. So appreciate the time and listening. If you have any questions, I'm here. If not, I'll sit down and maybe come on November 8th when there's a follow-up discussion. And if there's anything more you need from me or the property owner, we're happy to comply.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who wishes to speak for or against? Okay. So we will keep the record open, meet on this on November 8th. All right. I will close the public hearing and move on to approval of minutes.
Madam Mayor, I hereby move for the approval of the minutes as presented for the mayor and council meetings held on September 13th, 2022, September 20th, 2022. I said 2020, 2022. And September 27th, 2022.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Consent agenda.
Madam Mayor, move all of the consent agenda be approved as presented.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Approval of an ordinance, deed of easement and agreement with All Char Properties LLC for 231 North Locust Street, the Alms House.
Madam Mayor, hereby move for the approval of ordinance authorizing the execution of a deed and easement agreement for use of a portion of the city property at 231 North Locust Street for the purpose of constructing and maintaining an access easement on land situated on the westerly side of North Locust Street.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Approval of an ordinance making a determination that certain property is no longer needed for a public purpose and approving the conveyance of that parcel to Hagerstown Industrial Properties LLC, a South Carolina limited liability company doing business in Maryland as JDA Hagerstown Industrial Properties LLC, a Maryland limited liability company.
Madam Mayor, hereby move for the introduction of an ordinance to transfer the property described in the attached special warranty deed to Hagerstown Industrial Properties LLC, a South Carolina limited liability company doing business in Maryland as JDA, Hagerstown Industrial Properties LLC, a Maryland limited liability company.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Introduction of an ordinance amending city code by repealing chapter 197 rental facilities and reenacting chapter 197 with amendments of a technical nature recommended by the city attorney.
Madam Mayor, I move the mayor and city council to introduce an ordinance to amend the code of the city of Hagerstown by repealing chapter 197 rental facilities and reenacting chapter 197 with amendments. Specifically, the amendments will, 1, clarify the connection to the property maintenance code. 2, clarify the rights of the property owner to refuse consent to an inspection and the city's right to seek the issuance of an administrative search warrant under the property maintenance code for the code required inspection. 3, clean up references to sections of the city code. 4, clarify ownerships types subject to the rental facilities code. 5, further clarify the procedure for inspections of unreported tenant turnovers. And 6, add dormitory as a type of dwelling subject to the rental facilities code. These amendments are consistent with the mayor and council's strategic plan and the community's city center plan.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Yes.
Motion carries 3-1. Introduction of an ordinance quitclaim a portion of alley number 3-13.
Madam Mayor, hereby move for the introduction of an ordinance to quitclaim an unimproved portion of Alley 3-13 to Raymond W. Higgins and authorize the mayor to execute the quitclaim deed.
Second.
Second by Takesha. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Approval of a resolution restricting entry into alley 4-019 from Locust Street.
Madam Mayor, hereby move to approve a resolution to restrict vehicular traffic entry into alley 4-019 from North Locust Street. I further move to rescind the August 23rd, 2022 resolution that converted the alley to one-way westbound.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Approval of reallocation of ARPA funds to support city outreach and case management positions.
Madam Mayor, I move the mayor and city council to approve the reallocation of $10,000 in American Rescue Plan Act ARPA funds previously awarded to Horizon Goodwill Industries, HGI, and increase the award $2,800 for a total award of $12,800. The $10,000 was awarded to support short-term emergency housing placement, transportation, and food services for unhoused individuals required to isolate or quarantine due to COVID-19. Due to the recent decreased need for this program, HGI requests to reallocate the existing funds to recruit and hire 2 outreach case managers to support the city. HGI has applied for funding from HUD, which will fund the positions for the next 3 years. The time of performance shall be 6 months beginning October 25th, 2022, or the date that both positions have been filled, whichever occurs sooner, up to the maximum of $12,800.
Second.
Seconded by Tiara. Any discussion?
Just-
All in fa- oh,
Do I?
Go ahead.
What?
Go ahead, Kristen.
Well, I just had a simple question. My understanding is this funding will be expired, if you will, by December of 2024. In other words, the funds being used will be exhausted by that time.
Right,
Okay.
right.
That's all I wanted to know.
It's like a stopgap. It's like a stopgap right
Yes.
now.
Uh-huh.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Abstain.
Motion carries. Approval of a resolution to enter into a grant agreement for the Clara Barton Memorial.
Madam Mayor, hereby move for the approval of resolution authorizing the city to enter into a capital projects grant agreement as a beneficiary of a grant up to $250,000 for the design, construction, and installation of a memorial sculpture of Clara Barton.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Approval of a resolution approving the First Amendment to the promissory note with Marketplace LLC.
Madam Mayor, I hereby move for Mayor and City Council approval of a resolution approving the First Amendment to the promissory note with Marketplace LLC, which will extend the payment schedule by 5 months.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Approval of City Center Holiday Parking Program.
My favorite time of year.
Madam Mayor, we move for the mayor and council to approve the City Center Holiday Parking Program that allows for free parking each weekend commencing at 5 p.m. Friday evenings and every Saturday and Sunday in the University District Parking Deck and Arts and Entertainment District Parking Deck beginning Friday, December 2nd, 2022 through Sunday, January 1, 2023. Normal parking operation will resume on Monday, January 2nd, 2023. Parking at the street meters and parking lot meters will continue to be free after 5 p.m. weekdays and every Saturday and Sunday as it is normally throughout the year.
Second.
Second by Bob. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Approval of funding for a community coalition lobbyist.
Madam Mayor, I move for the mayor and council authorization of the expenditure of $5,000 from the general fund operating budget in order to contribute toward hiring John Favazza with the firm of Manis Canning and Associates as the Community Coalition lobbyist. Other committed partners include the Washington County Commissioners, Commission of Visitors Bureau, Washington County Free Library, Greater Hagerstown Committee, the Community Foundation, Hagerstown Community College, Town of Williamsport, Washington County Chamber of Commerce, and Chief, Washington County Industrial Foundation.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Approval of Barbara Ingram School for the Arts Foundation Holiday Lamp Post Decorating Project.
Madam Mayor, I hereby move for Mayor and Council approval of the Barbara Ingram School for the Arts Foundation Street Lamp Holiday Project. BISFA will sell sponsorships for personalized holiday banners, which they will then install with volunteers and/or contractor. All city guidelines for installation will be followed, and hold harmless agreements or certificates of insurance will be provided.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Approval of a motion authorizing the issuance of a notice of termination to Air Products and Chemical, Inc. of the city's intention not to renew or extend the product supply agreement dated February 15, 2013, and amended on October 14, 2015, and March 9, 2018.
Madam Mayor, hereby move for the approval of a motion authorizing the issuance of a notice of termination to Air Products and Chemical, Inc. for the contract termination date per Section 3 of the attached product supply agreement is November 15th, 2023. This notice of termination is being issued to ensure compliance with local and state procurement requirements and to best serve citizenry of Hagerstown. The city will issue a request for proposals for operation of the pelletizer facility.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, city administrator.
All right. A few things happening this weekend, Mayor. The first would be on Thursday, October 27th, at Fairgrounds Park, City of Hagerstown Parks and Rec, teaming up with Manning Media for a family-friendly trick-or-treat event from 4 to 8. That's again on Thursday. This is the event that started out as trunk-or-treat during COVID, and it's been so popular, it's being continued. Fairgrounds Park will be closed starting at 2 o'clock on Thursday with limited access. Entrances on Cleveland and security will be closed. You must have a ticket, so those with tickets will enter from Cannon Avenue beginning at 3:30. Get there early because it gets packed out there and candy goes quick. Friday night Halloween block party, I'm sure I'll leave that, as well as the Alsatian Mummers Parade on Saturday to you all to talk about, because I know you'll all talk about it. And then also, don't forget the dog costume parade at Fairgrounds Park, always a popular event. That's Saturday, 11 to 1. And that is all for me. Thanks.
Councilmember Alshire?
I have nothing to say.
Councilmember Brucci?
Just one thing. I voted against the introduction of an ordinance for modifying the code 197-6 for inspections, and the reason being is that under E, in addition to 104.4.3 A to C, the property maintenance code, yada, 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 on to where, or the condition of the neighborhood in which the premises is located. The reason why I'm against this portion is because this allows code to get an administrative warrant to enter a property which could literally have had no violations of any kind in past years, but be in a neighborhood where this premise is located, where there could be issues. Councilmember Alshire pointed out during our discussion in our open meeting earlier that this could be an arbitrary and capricious problem. I also believe that, although I don't believe that our inspectors would do that. But the problem remains that it's in the code, we'll be adhering to it, and it could be used 20 years from now by somebody who is not in this room currently. So if we could find a way, I realize, again, Councilmember Alshire is correct, that it's part of the law passed by the Supreme Court. But you know, we didn't have this in this code to begin with, and now we're putting it in here, and this portion is the portion I'm opposed to. I'm okay with everything else, but people need to know that if you're in a neighborhood where a condition is, and you're in a rental and you've never had a problem, and code comes and asks to do an inspection into your house, and you say no, they can go get an administrative warrant to be able to do that. And I believe that whether you're a renter or an owner, a man's house is his castle, or a woman's house is her castle. But that's why I voted against it. And that's it.
Thank you. Councilmember Burnett?
A few things tonight. I want to thank everyone involved for organizing the visit from Mayor's West Camp and our delegation from our sister city in Germany. Part of the visit, we went to Antietam Brewery for a tour and a history of beer, so it was pretty cool. And also during our discussions, we talked about the differences from the voting rights from here versus over there, and even culture. They were very fascinated with my braids, so I gave a whole 30-minute tutorial about how to put braids in Black women's hair. And that was really, really nice to share that with them. And also speaking of voting rights, a reminder that this week is early voting that begins October 27th through November 3rd. And this year, we have 2 voting sites, one at the Board of Elections on Virginia Avenue, and the second one at the library. And thirdly, I'd like to congratulate again the Hagerstown Youth Advisory Council, particularly Sean Dean and Anna Simmons. They're both involved with the Ruth Ann Monroe Summer Basketball League, so it's nice to see our kids just succeeding in life. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Martinez?
Yes. So I just want to thank, I'm sorry out loud, Community Economic Development. Yesterday, we went around to some businesses and thanked them for Business Appreciation Week, and it was really awesome. So thank you, Cassie. And also, why did I forget who else was on the team? Chris, yeah. But thank you, it was really fun. Also learned a lot about Ducks and a lot of the different things that Duck does in the community, and I just thought that was amazing. The sporting goods store, so that was awesome. I'm looking forward to tomorrow too. And then on Friday, the Women Commission of Women is having TEDx Hagerstown Women, Friday morning at Kepler Theater, 9 to 12:30.
And the theme is a new era, dreamers, doers, and encouragers. And I thought that was amazing with the reveal today, and you were up there like, this is a new era. So the fact that that's part of Friday's thing with TEDx is amazing. On Saturday, Saturday morning at 7:30 a.m., Community Mediation Maryland's Executive Director, Lork Charkoudian, will be taking off. She'll be running 70 miles. She runs from Hagerstown, Maryland prisons to the Baltimore Mediation Center in Greenmount Avenue to raise money for participants that may not have the means to get to Hagerstown to do reentry mediations in the prison. So she literally puts her feet where her mouth is. So there will be a rally in Hagerstown at 7:30 a.m. out at the prisons, and then at 12 noon at Frederick, and then when she ends on Sunday, there will be a rally in Baltimore. And then also Spit Your Peace is Sunday. My co-host, Millie Mills, is doing a scary theme poetry. And for those of you guys that don't know Millie Mills, she graduated high school. She's Jessica Scott's daughter, and she's really doing an amazing job hosting. So if you're looking for something to do Sunday evening, doors open 5:30. We start the show at 6 p.m. Come down, and the mic is open. Thank you.
Thank you. I also wanted to thank Bev and Connie and the rest of the ladies from the Sister City relationship for putting together the trip for Mayor's Westcamp and her delegation. And we learned at the Women's Club reception that our Sister City relationship is the oldest in the country. So I knew it was the oldest in the state of Maryland, didn't know it was the oldest in the country, so.
That was awesome. And
Yeah.
the first.
The first, yes. Yeah, so that was pretty cool, and it was very exciting to get to talk to them and learn about their city and learn about their politic over there, and they have 8 different political parties, so it's definitely a different world. But it was very nice to meet them. And also the day that they came, on Friday, we did a tour of the Maryland Theater and the Museum of Fine Arts. And I had a student that's in English Second Language in South High. He's a 10th grader. His name is Iban. And he shouted me for the day because he's interested in politics. And let me tell you, this kid is from Mexico. He's only been here 3 months, and he was phenomenal. He was a little nervous at first. His English is perfect, but he was concerned about, since English is a second language. But Iban wants to go to Harvard Law, become a lawyer, and then he wants to move back to Mexico to help his city with the issues that they're facing there. And he talked about corruption in their school system. And he came here, Alsatian Club not being able to do the Mummers Parade because of COVID. It's back, and it's going to be fabulous. So please make sure you bring your family. Come down to the Mummers Parade. It starts at 6 o'clock. And you'll see 3 of us if you recognize us on a fire truck, but we're not going to look like this. So we'll see everyone Saturday night and hopefully this Friday as well. With that, everyone have a good week. We're adjourned.